All right, welcome to We Are Something Else, episode 156, Adult Education. And we're here, we're back. That's me, your boy Kaleo. There's CB, there's E Rich. Fellas on a Thursday night, a little early but late at the same time. What's good with you guys?
Yo, it's almost another week in the books.
Yeah.
Um
How many more
and
those?
then
How many more of those of 2022 do we have left?
not too many. And Just know that since me and Kaleo have this little project that we've been doing at work, trying to wear a different pair of sneakers every day that we're in the office, you better believe earlier this week I did actually calculate a rough estimate about how many days were left, aka how many more pairs had to be set aside to make sure that this project comes to fruition with a 100% success rate. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And a couple people may have pinged me saying that asking if I've been in the office because I missed like 2 days of posting, but I took the
mhm.
pictures. I just forgot to post, so I will post those to show you
I
that.
got a backlog
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
personally. So
We're not perfect here, so don't judge us.
I
E,
mean,
what's good, bro?
y'all already know I'm not perfect. I'm tiny and got no calves.
I thought you were gonna bring up that you had got some messages in regards to a certain picture that you dropped today, but I mean,
Oh,
that could be that as well.
not
Yeah,
yet.
my ass has not been in the office probably since I had to be in the office. Was gonna go tomorrow, but I just matter of fact canceled that shit for me to go in tomorrow. Nah, I'm going in for a hot second. But Other than that, man, look, I'm glad it's Thursday. We had a great show. Was that a couple of days ago with the Hot Seat podcast, and
Yep.
Yeah, shout out
so
to the homies, Sean, Dave, Earl, Eric, for having us on for their episode 95. We chopped it up with them on Tuesday night
Yeah.
into the wee hours of the morning.
yeah, but no, we're here, so let's get it.
Yeah, it's been a decent week. Like you said, we're here. Got some things to cover. So, with all that said, let's start off the show like this. Uh, there was another one, right? Early this week at University of Virginia. So our condolences go to Lavelle Davis Jr., Deshaun Perry, Devin Chandler, and the two other victims who did not lose their lives, but were injured in this crazy, crazy, crazy mess of a world. So, if you've been living under a rock, 3 students were killed, 5 were injured, I believe, altogether, coming back from a trip to DC,
hmm
where 3 UVA players were murdered by a former UVA player that's still a current, well, was a current UVA student.
hmm
Um, yeah, they just returned from a trip to DC, and he said I believe he shot one of them in their sleep and murdered the other two. You know, this came out of nowhere because they were saying that these guys didn't even communicate on the bus. Like there was no like interaction that could have probably led to that. But again, senseless violence. Um, Christopher Darnell Jones is the shooter. Um, this is just crazy, man. I don't even know. This is it seems to be happening more frequent. People, start to come unraveled a little bit, and they go to schools and they just do these mass shootings, or they try to make a scene or a name for themselves this way. So thoughts, how you guys feel about this when you heard the news? UVA has canceled all their games, their game this week, and all of the ACC will be wearing UVA patches on their helmets this week. CB.
It's disheartening, man. Again, and I, to have it be young people involved. Still so much of their lives to be lived, and so many things to still experience and everything. And so it sucks that that opportunity was taken away from them. And it will be interesting to see if we get more information behind like the true motive. um I haven't really seen too much speculation. We just know that this man who's bringing shame on my name is a former player, and so you wonder if that played anything into it. But it, from what some of the witnesses that were there were saying, was that it certainly felt targeted, um, and it felt purposeful for who this man was shooting at. So, um, it it just it sucks that we're talking about this kind of thing again. You know what I mean?
Right. Does it get old to you that the mental health aspect always comes into play when it comes to things like this?
No, I mean, I think it's something that needs to be acknowledged in general, because we know that there is some aspect to it in a lot of these cases. But it shouldn't be. It's almost been made a joke nowadays, right? Because you just assume that um, that can be used as a way for these people to get away with taking other people's lives and stuff like that. So it's also interesting because this is like the University of Virginia. We, my family has some ties down to people that live in that area, and have ties to the school and things like that. And so it's it just hits close to home. And again, the fact that these are young people, man, like these are dudes that still had a lot of life to be lived. And so it just makes it that much worse that there's just another person out there who had no regard for any of that.
Yeah. E?
Yeah, I saw this, and I mean, we all play sports, and there's a level of this that that we have to be honest and talk about. That sometimes I feel maybe the announcers, um, you know, we might not have played college ball, but we all have played the sport, and not just reported on the game. Usually there is a targeted type situation that goes on with these, and I don't know the story. I've not read it. I'm sure more will come out. The fact that he was captured, right? So there'll be more into this. But my first initial thing was kind of old school. They did something that got him kicked off, or they, something initiated why he's no longer a player on that squad, to the effect of they're still living their lives of playing in college football and he's not, right? Um, or there's always kind of been that sense of there's a connection between certain players, and when they have that connection, certain other players feel a little off because they don't have that same camaraderie or that connection. So I'm actually willing to like really see this court proceeding, right? I want to know what else comes of this, because I feel like there should be more of a back. So if this was just senseless, then I mean, again, condolences, and it's definitely not that. But this would actually be better to actually kind of tag into, because I think we all know it happens more often than people think. There's
Oh,
more
absolutely. Absolutely.
internal beefing within your own team than the rivalry that we hate and we lose to every damn time over some dumb call or something that we know we better than them. We may push and shove, but we'll ready to fight each other from the same team in the parking lot that same night, that same day, whatever the case may be. So again, I think this goes a little deeper than probably what surface level is. So I will be kind of checking in on this, even though it's on the other coast.
And I'm nowhere near ever been in this mindset, but how could you at any age want to take the life of somebody else and then not worry about, or just the consequences of being I mean, you're done. Like if they catch you, I mean, you're going away. Like when does that come into play as far as a thought process, or maybe it doesn't at all? And if you still have the thought process and it still doesn't deter you, well, I mean, it's just I don't know. It's disheartening that it seems to be a more common thing nowadays, right? I don't have the graphics, but these are things that are happening in our communities today. A sixth grader was jumped by an eighth grader, and there are multiple reports that critical condition or worse. I'm not going to report on the worst because I don't necessarily know how credible the source was that reported. But this is horrible. You send your kids to school, eighth grade, and if it is the worst, even if it's not the worst, the punishment you're going to face in the eighth grade. This is horrible. Sixth grade. This happens to you. Like I remember my sixth grade. I was still trying to, figure things out. And you go to school, and the end result is you potentially harming someone to the point where they might not come home. It's just crazy. And then there's a story of the young lady who went on vacation with her friends and her boyfriend, and she didn't make it. They went to Cabo. Was it Cabo? Went to Mexico, and she didn't make it home. And then the story was alcohol poisoning. And come to find out, no, it wasn't alcohol poisoning. I mean, she had like a broken spine and some other stuff going on that probably have led to her death. Then there's always a video. There's always a video, right? The video surfaced of this young lady and her friend, and the people that she went on vacation with. She's getting beat up. And the rumor is because she was doing better off in life than a lot of her friends. It was a jealousy thing. I don't know. But come on now. Like, from what I read, they were friends for 5 years. You killed this girl, your friend.
Don't
and
sound
the boyfriend
like friends to me.
Right. And the boyfriend's there telling his girlfriend to fight back while he's recording it. I mean, this is the world we are. This is how things are, man. This is like seriously disheartening. Like,
Yeah.
I send my kid off to school every day, and I got to worry about shit that I didn't have to worry about at that age.
It's also wild. Like I remember when, like growing up, I was a public school kid. I went to public school, the entire way. Um, and so there was always just this thought process that you're like, I went to public school. My parents went to public school. If I have kids, they'll go to public school. And, um, being the age that I am now, and a lot of my friends, Kaleo being one of them, like, they've got children of their own that are now school age or been going to school. And the thought, like the conversation's a lot different now that like our group are the ones that are the parents. Guys that I would never have thought that they would be considering doing like a private school thing. Like that's way more common than I would have anticipated. Like
Right.
it's a more regular thing to be considering the private school route just because of some of the additional things that come with the exorbitant cost of having to go. Um,
Yeah.
so there, and that in itself, like when you're not feeling safe at school and people feel like they have to basically not go to the schools in certain communities and things like that, that divide that's being created,
Mhm.
that's something that we've talked about under many other contexts. So
Right. I feel like at some point, life peeled back that safety curtain, and you got to see a lot of shit that life offers you along the way, right? And it made you become more aware, or you know, I mean, more alert that certain things happen. And it's just, I remember fire drills you rehearse, and then in high school you get to, one of the kids are calling a bomb threat, and you're outside for like 45 minutes, whatever, just chilling with your boys. It's never a real bomb in the building, but now they have active shooter like drills. stay in place kind of drills. It's crazy, man. And
Yep.
also another story about the guy who the Christmas parade last year, Darrell Brooks, that
Hmm.
killed multiple people with the vehicle. He was sentenced to 6 life sentences plus 700 plus years. So by the time he gets out, he's gonna be old as shit. I'm just saying.
I also just want to point out that my man's got the sentence, that he probably deserved, but it should be noted that his skin tone is different from plenty of the other situations where people did not get what they deserved. So
Mm,
I'm not
yeah,
saying that is, that plays a role in this. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying it. I'm just, stating a fact.
I got you. I got you. Let's move us on to some uplifting stuff. Like, I feel like this conversation's gonna go. I mean, we got a month, right? So now we're getting heavy into the music. Uh, and I'm praying to God that nothing else comes out between here and December that I'm interested in. I mean, there's Roddy Rich drops tomorrow, I believe, but I'm not a huge fan. I'm not going to look for that, but I will listen. So King's Disease 3 dropped last week. Got Nas and Hit Boy's fourth collaboration, third King's Disease installment. Then you got Magic. So there's been a lot of talk. We talked about this on the Hot Seat podcast earlier this week. My opinion hasn't really changed on any of the stuff that happened, but there have been more people to come forth. So let's talk a couple different things. First of all, have you guys listened to the album yet? We'll start there. If you are, what are your thoughts? Does this make it somewhere in your top 5 for the year? We'll start with that conversation. I'm going to say for a 17-track album, I feel like it didn't feel like 17 tracks. I knew it was going to be fire when Superfly stamped it. And this is definitely lurking somewhere in my top 5. All right, E.
I'll share the sentiment. It's lurking. Yes, I have listened to it. I think I responded in the group text. I think it was 1, 2, 3. I think I skipped 4 and 5 or something like that. It started off good. 4 was a little, dare I say, a little too East Coast for me. And we talked about that on the podcast on Tuesday. That the thing about Nas is he's 100% New York. He's 100% doesn't really need a radio tag or anything like that. Never really crossed over, I believe, to the West Coast in a formidable way as like a Jada Kiss or a Wu Tang. Your Ghostface and Meths. They kind of have that balance of they can kind of ride out on a certain beat that still kind of gives a West Coast, ear, right? Because like I said, I'm definitely not just pro West Coast because there's definitely some West Coast music that I know nobody on the East Coast listens to, and it's just because that's just what it is. But like you said, there's on a broader scale of things, there's a lot going on album wise. I'll give it another listen. I agree there shouldn't be too much more that comes out because I think I have at least I'm down to like 8 albums.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My top 5 is the top 10 currently. All right, CB.
I also currently have somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 10 albums in consideration for 5 spots. This does look to be one of them. I have listened, and I was telling Kaleo, I had done part of the listen, not the majority of it, but part of it over the weekend. And then one of the things about having to go into the office on certain days and living in the DMV is you're going to have time sitting in traffic. So finished out the rest of the album, and when I got to the end, I was like kind of surprised that it was there because I knew that it was 17 tracks, but Kaleo already mentioned it when the legend Superfly himself is giving a 17 track album at least some form of a stamp, because I haven't heard him come out and actually say that, yeah, this still could have been parsed down to 10 or something like that, which is normally his argument, right? But this one was good. As a fan of Nas, this was another project that, just makes you feel good, because this is the Nas that I remember, from the early 2000s and everything like that. So it sounded very like that era to me. Like that's the vibe that I was getting. Um, which that is Nas. So I liked it a lot.
I had said that um, Hit Boy definitely put something back in Nas's pen that was missing, right? Or gave him some type of passion or love that was missing in the lyrics, the bars, the music itself, and vice versa. Because before Nas and Hit Boy linked, the only way I could recognize a Hit Boy track was the drop, the Hit Boy, we all know it was heavy influenced on the Watch the Throne album, and then he had done a bunch of other stuff, but I think he found a really good sound. He dug a little deeper, and made Nas, 4 really dope albums. And if they continue to make music together, that's awesome. If not, we'll always have these 4 albums to go back and listen to. Let's see what some of the comments are saying here. We got, hey, right. You may. It's all good. We appreciate you. Your worst half, I don't know where he is. I haven't seen him in the comments yet, but it's all good. So from there, fellas, let's you know what? We won't go into 21 Savage stuff. We can always go back, revisit this, because I'm assuming this will be back on the list in a month or so. All right, it is Thursday night, and got a couple guys going in the fantasy league right now. So as of right now, and I think this is going to be maybe a universal answer. If I'm correct, I believe we're probably all going to have the same person as the current leading candidate for NFL MVP. If we had to pick somebody right here, right now, that is just MVP candidate worthy, I wasn't going to do 3, but 3 is too easy. But if I had to give somebody an MVP right now, I would be giving it to Mahomes. I think Mahomes is, even though he's lost the 2 games, he got outplayed by the Bills, and then they lost a horrible game to Jacksonville. I still think that the numbers he's putting up is pretty dope. Few and far, and I mean he's doing all this without Tyreek Hill, which a lot of people didn't think would happen. So this is just a quick story. I just think MVP is should go to Mahomes. We'll do this since we're all close together. All right, go ahead, CB.
Well, honestly, the only person that really should be taking it away from Mahomes right now is obviously Taylor Heineke. He just beat the Eagles. Nah, for real. Yeah, I think the betting favorites currently is Mahomes, followed by Tua, and then you got Jalen Hurts, and oh, there he is.
There he is.
So there are a few guys that are in the conversation. I think Mahomes has the easiest case to make for him, because I believe personally that he's doing the most with less, which, for years, that's not how people have viewed the Kansas City Chiefs. But I mean, bruh, they literally do not have the same type of team this year that they've had in years past. So damn it. But yeah, no, I think right now you kind of got to go with Mahomes. Their running game doesn't exist. Their best passing option is as old as we are. I'm just putting it out there. He's as old as we are.
He is
Still a baller.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the range. That's all I'm saying. Is he's in the range. He's been in the league a long time.
Yeah.
TK, but yeah, I think that out of all the guys doing it, you talk about Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Tua as the guys that are like 2 through 4. At least for me personally, I think that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle should be in consideration for MVP on the Dolphins, not Tua. That's my personal opinion. And I know that this award
They
is
make him look good.
basically
They
this
make him
award
look
is
good.
not the most valuable player award. This award is who's the quarterback that made the best impact.
Hey,
That's really what this award has become. So,
Herschel Walker. Oh God.
but yeah, no, I'm with you. I do right now. If I was betting on it, I'm taking it's like the 125 rate on Mahomes. He's the favorite right now, and I think for good reason.
Hey. Real quick, do you think Jefferson's gonna break Johnson's single season record?
Not at this exact moment. Like if I had to bet on it right now, it's easy to be a hater and just say no. But that's not because of him.
Right.
I think that there are some matchups coming up, and the guy that's got to get him the ball, like that's why I want to say no.
Gotcha.
But he's an absolute baller.
Go ahead, eat my bad.
No, you good. I'll keep it short. I got Jalen out of Philly being the my MVP so far. Regardless of that loss that happened, I think that was actually probably the best for them. It's always one of those things where you want your team to lose, get that, kind of get that humble pie early, or not even early, but at a good point in the season, so you can retool and get back to what you know what to do. My runner up, Tua for sure, because I think everybody saw as much as you want to say, look at what Tyreek and Waddle are doing. They also had a quarterback that threw him the ball that still couldn't get it done, and they didn't get W's while Tua was not in the lineup. So I think you make the case
Very
for most valuable person, that if you lose that person, does the team go to shit? And yes, we can say that about Mahomes. Possibly, I don't really think Jalen. I think Jalen can go out and they can even have like an old school folks come back out and still win the game, because that team put together on both sides is like that. So, but yeah,
Hey, Michael,
I would
go
go
to
with
bed, Michael.
I
Time
would
for bed,
definitely
Mike.
go.
Time for bed.
I would definitely go with Jalen first. I think he's flying under the radar because how good the team actually is. I think we've always punished the player who's on the best team but is the best player. Like it's weird that we need to change the name of the damn award.
Yeah.
But that, that's a whole nother conversation. We've talked about that with the NBA of how, whether it's the greatness of LeBron or Kobe on the best player on the best team, or just whatever that person is, take them away. If that team is shit, then that pretty much kind of tells you the high level that they can that they produce. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I wanted to do something real quick. I want to call this a speed round. Some stuff that kind of made the headlines that is probably just only noteworthy of one line. At least a couple of them are. So Taylor Swift broke Ticketmaster the other day. There was a co-worker of ours that decided to stay home and try to score some Taylor Swift tickets, but ended up spending, like everybody else, 6 hours in a waiting line for these tickets. And also, the story is, one, Taylor doesn't want to come to DC. I don't, there's a big petition to get Taylor here, but I think her exact words is FedEx Field is trash, and she doesn't want to perform there.
Those are my words. She stole my shit.
But no, I don't know why she won't come to DC. But there's a petition to get her here. But I won't be there. Who cares? But anyways, yeah, she broke the internet. But people were saying as they were waiting for tickets for a regular price, StubHub, who was also owned by Live Nation, they saw tickets starting to be repurposed up there, for resale, up to $35,000. Well, starting at $35,000. Highest is probably, I think somebody posted.
I saw today 95.
90 grand, 95 grand.
Not to be confused with the episode of the Hot Seat podcast we just did.
Exactly.
What Chad to be grabbing? Chad's mom will definitely give up the credit card for that.
For 95 grand, the next album better be about me. And we can dig. You can dive into that comment if you
That's
want.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And then some of you guys' favorite president announced that he's going to run Indeed in 2024. That was his big announcement that he was going to run in 2024, and he even went as far as saying,
to tweet about it though.
Yeah, he even went as far as saying that he's going to promise, or he's going to work on trying to get drug dealers, people who deal drugs. He's going to try to get them up for the death penalty if they get caught dealing drugs, convicted dealing drugs. Now, let's dive.
Big Pharma.
So I'm about to say, if we dive a little bit more,
goes missing. We know why.
If we dive a little bit more on that statement and all the people that that he's rallying up about that comment, probably don't realize most of the drug dealers are almost the same complexion as they are. They don't see the outcome of that.
No.
We got 5 comments real quick. What is this?
Somebody said it best. Big Pharma has killed more people than Big Meech.
Ooh, yeah. And then this last one here. You see Kelly Rowland, Peter Rosenberg. This story is interesting for the simple fact that when it comes to media, we like to play media, but the guys that get paid to be on the radio and all that, and they're always looking for that moment, their moment to shine. Rosenberg is pretty big in New York. He's he's on the show with Ebro or whatever, and then he's kind of built up his own kind of following too as well. He also announces on WWE on their pay-per-views, but he got caught under some fire for.
Angie gave you flowers for your ability to play second to Beyonce, which for so many, everyone who gets, I can only speak for me, everyone who gets in the entertainment business gets into it to be the man, right? Just me working with Ebro takes my own ego.
Hates it.
Yeah, hates it. It's my own. My ego has to be in check. Even though when he's not here, I'm like, you know what? I kind of prefer Ebro come back. But it does take an ego check. And you happen to be standing next to the brightest light on planet Earth. Like, you think Big Boy from Outkast has it tough being next to Andre. You're with Beyonce, and not only did you not fight it, it seems like you really loved the position that you were in and took it seriously. And
here's the thing. Light attracts light. I am light. So I am a beautiful brown shining light. So I don't think anybody's light dims anyone else's. I think that when other people start to compare you, I think that that's when it shows how dim they are of themselves. So I don't take somebody else trying to dim my light anymore for anybody else. I love B. I know that she's a light, but I know that I'm a light too.
But it's also created such an interesting role for you where you could have rested on your laurels and just been like, hey, I'm a part of this iconic group. My best friend's the biggest star in the world. We kick ass. We're awesome.
Yes, and her best friend / sister is one of the big stars in the world too. Yes. So it's like people only see things one-sided. You know what I mean? So I don't like when they just put one person in one place. Like, we both shine together. I'm shining with Marseille. We're shining together. Right. It's always been patriarchy to me, or even now, everybody's actually taking the hit of and start to believe this thing where, well, only one woman can do this and they shine the biggest. Right. My sister has knocked down doors and made positions for so many women that look like her, that are deeper shades than her or brighter or whatever, but specifically for Black women and put Black.
So. I didn't hear one question in all that he said. There wasn't a question. There was more so a statement. The whole time was, yeah, you play second fiddle to Beyonce. You joined this group knowing that, most people join the group or get into the industry of being the man. You're not. You're just second to Beyonce. I'm in this room second to Ebro. Who gives a fuck about you, Peter Rosenberg? Who don't? Say it. This is you took that job because that's what you decided. Don't put that on Kelly. And then Kelly's response was so eloquent but savage at the same time because she's talking to his ass. But but she's it's just thoughts.
Listen. I mean, she did it perfect. I mean, that's the perfect response to something like that. I will say that he did apologize. He said he apologized to her directly and not online, which I think is also a stand-up move. He clearly saw the comments and people was like, it don't even sound right, bro. Like how you approach that whole situation. Like Kelly rocks by herself. Like she has her own following. She does her own thing. I will say this though. When I heard it, I got a little bit of Vlad TV, and I was really upset about it because Rosenberg has not. He's always been good. Like he's always been the journalistic music person. There's been a number of people that have been up there interview wise that could have gotten certain type of questions. Let's just be honest, right? That one would just seem like he left, like he was not really in body. I felt like it was a damn it, I can't think of the movie now, but Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That was not Rosenberg. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been a part of the culture too long to then play that side, or
he knows better.
He does. Better. But like I said, when I heard it, and then it was weird because he has a suit and tie on, and he never has a suit and tie on. It was like, this is not Rosenberg. This seems like Vlad trying to get somebody caught up to say something to then create that. I'll bring the other person on so now we can kind of create this tension and back and forth of a culture that we definitely don't need any more coals added to the fucking fire. So it was sad journalistic, but I was happy that he did say that he apologized to her directly and not an online apology, even though it happened online, because that shows the difference in the solid person that you are.
And the funny thing is, he didn't catch himself after the first round. He went back in after she responded like,
this potato salad with the raisins. Oh shit, this is delicious. That's what he did. He went back for seconds, and it was like the wrong shit. You know. I mean, this will be quick for me. Kelly Rowland, in my mind, has never played second fiddle to Beyonce in anything personally. So, he said it. She handled that so well, and Kaleo, you're right. It was a mix of some savagery in there, which she got beauty and brains. It's clear.
Damn. Okay. Where are we? Before we get into his just make sure you guys grab yourself a DC Shop Pod this weekend. WRC 10 save 10% on our using our code. Look, you know what it is. Shout out to Grant. I need to get Grant back on the show, maybe for some updates or something like that. See what's going on. DC Shop Pod, WRC 10. Use our code. Alrighty.
Get you some pie. All right, we already know what it is. There's a holiday that we're gonna call it a holiday. I think for the past couple of maybe a handful of years, I've gotten out of the traditional naming of this said day and considered it just now a holiday where you spend time with your family and your friends. But again, it's Turkey Day coming up, and for this Turkey edition, I've already pissed a lot of people off, and there's been some things going on about this. The first picture that I have for everybody is how I visually always want my Turkey Day to look. And there's always going to be a Charlie Brown Turkey Day video on somewhere in the house. This is a must. You have to have this up. Outside of the fact that my man is sitting there by himself on one side of the table, which I really was going to dive into that, but I just noticed that. and that is not Thigpen, by the way, right? So usually Thigpen would have to be on his own. But I wasn't on Diamond.
That's
This is supposed
Lewis.
to be joyous. This is
That's
supposed to be
Lewis.
joyous. Yeah. But we're supposed to be joyous, right? We're all there together. It's a couple
No,
people.
Franklin.
late.
His name was Franklin. I'm sorry, Franklin.
Franklin. They haven't pulled up the chair next to him. He's not there by himself, and they've seen him interact with Franklin before, so I'm not worried about this. This is not one that I'm going to attack. However, in the process of just being ready for the season and just the day, shit, you then come across some a complete foolery. And again, I stated this, I think, the first year that I was gracious to be on the We Are Something Else podcast by saying the weakest side dish for Turkey Day is the stuffing. And by damn it, if they don't have, they are really trying to get people on the side of the fucking stuffing. Stovetop has gone to the effect where they have stovetop pants. They are trying to make it seem like you are going to be so fucking full that you need to get these pants from Stovetop. This dry ass, weak side dish, the Sneaky League not even getting this on the plate to leave. All I'm saying is they got to stop with the bullshit. Fellas, if I see anybody with these damn pants on, I'm going to have a problem. Is it just eat or get the fucking stovetop off of the list? Off the menu, we don't need it.
It is funny that Quintuple brought up the turkey sucks because it's a dry ass bird, and what most people don't realize is the reason why that shit is so dry is because people put stuffing in there and try to cook the bird. That sucks all the moisture right out of everything. So, yeah, there's enough food on Turkey Day to suck all the moisture out of your body. I need to save more room for the pumpkin pie, the desserts afterwards. I do think this is a hilarious marketing ploy. Like, I think that that's hilarious. I don't know how they would look next to a pair of, I don't know, Air Jordan 1 Lost and Founds. Like, does that red match? I don't know. But yeah, I think this is a hilarious marketing ploy, but that's that you need marketing ploys because you need people to buy your shit, right? Like, so
Right.
would they really be pushing it like that if they didn't need the help?
All right, CB. What we got for that copper drop?
So we're double dipping to some degree. These are dropping tomorrow, and not to be confused with the other pandas that people be talking about, but Converse and Clot. We got some Clot fanboys on the podcast, but they have a collaboration going, and the muse, as they're saying behind it, is the giant panda. So God dang. Thanks, Quintuple, for that. But a pair of Jack Purcells. You got the Chuck 70s. The details are cool. Like, they got like kind of fuzzy panda fur along with like some straight hair. Pretty cool. The bottom has like a panda paw print on the sole, which is a cool touch. When we're talking about Converse, these are a little expensive from what I am used to. The Jack Purcells are $120. The Chucks are $130. I get it. They are using other materials. And these, again, like I was saying, they drop tomorrow. You can get them on sneakers. I know Juice Store connected to Clot. They already dropped there. If you have their app, some places you might be able to already. That's the thing. I doubt it. Mostly because unless we already know that a pair is going to be super limited, a lot of stuff's been sitting. You know what I mean? So
Yep. Ton of
even
J's sitting.
collaborations that we thought would be selling out, like you could still go onto the site and grab you some social status pennies, you know?
Yep.
So I don't think these are going to sell out. And at least for me, even though everyone knows I love the Jack Purcell model, Chucks are timeless. You can't go wrong. The price points are a little high for me, but I will be keeping my eye out because it's hard to go wrong with a black and white pair of shoes. You can mix those up with a lot of stuff. So not a cop for me, but I will be keeping my eye out, especially if the price drops. What do y'all think?
Yeah, not an immediate cop. I like the design of them because they're different. I mean, but like once you get past the initial shock value of wearing them once, like when do you wear them again? Because they've got like that like kind of smooth hair on one side and like the fuzzy panda hair on the other side. It's different. If I had a preference, I do like the high tops. But yeah, not an immediate cop, especially when there have been a lot of pandas running around free, roaming free the sneaker world. I'm more of going to be a C kind of person. The next kind of, I want my shoes to come from the sea, like lobsters do.
Like
lobsters do. So we'll see what I can do about that.
Yeah, no, these are a drop. As much as I love the collab, the clock collab, these aren't the ones like you said. CB said his price point just doesn't match the silhouette or the shoe that's going for it. They come down on the price. I might catch them at the end of the year if I can, just to say that they're a part of the collection. But yeah, they're a drop.
All right. Where we at now? There you go.
Just more focus.
All right, we'll keep it short and sweet.
Woo! Oh, classic box. All right.
And if you say classic, you got to have the classic shoe. I actually have the other actual one on right now, but we definitely are going to show this because these came in and I wore them the next damn day. I mean, damn. Again, there's nothing you can't go wrong with it. Like I definitely was like that kid that was like, yo, I know exactly what outfit I'm wearing with these as soon as I cop them. I had on the red sweats today with the black hoodie. Even thinking about copping the red shoestrings that goes in here just to throw it out with the red Nike check because that's what we did when they first came out to set you aside from everybody else. So yeah, 97s.
Dope.
You cannot go wrong with the silver bullets. I also have a Nike box. But
it's that little tab.
So not the 97, but these are some 98s. The 98 TL to be specific. So not the traditional Air Max 98, but Supreme has done their thing on a few pairs of 98s. And this is my first time actually copying something directly from the Supreme website. Like these, I think they sat for a little while. And there was 3 different colors. From the very first collab that they did, I think back in 2016, I have the all black pair and the red and gray pair. And so I figured for these, I would cop the all white joints to stand out. But y'all know I'm a Air Max 98.
Man, what's up,
fan,
man?
So
appreciate you.
And I have worn these already. So, that's how we do.
Dope. Well, look, there's no mystery here. We got a stress box. We got a for sale. Where the hell is the camera? It's over here. I can't find it. There we go.
Yeah.
Presentation is excellent on this thing. Got the old school paper inside. Got the receipt. Got black laces, and we've got a Jumpman sticker in here somewhere. All right.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Yep. So, I want to thank everybody for watching. But no, look, seriously.
This man, he rickrolls once and now he can't stop.
There you
Like,
go, right there. We got the lost and
Right.
founds. That is the design of the shoot I have. Like the paint or dust at the bottom. Got a little bit of cracked leather right here.
so sick.
Back we went with the white laces because that's what I've been seeing. Look, they've Jordans, when it comes to these like special editions, they've gone to the kind of like foamy kind of tongue kind of thing. They've, it's, I guess that's just what's in. But yeah, look, these are definitely one on my bucket list for the year, sneaker candidate of the year, my top 5. Just, the classic colorway. Anytime Chicago ones come out, the difference between these, I guess what they try to do with the lost and founds is to make it, I guess, to give it a little bit more appeal of exclusivity, right? You gotta, if you're going to come out with this colorway, you could have just came up with the basic Chicago colorway and been fine, but they tried to give you a little different kind of feel for what it was. Came with black laces as well, but went to white. But yeah. Oh, and the biggest thing with these, they haven't come out yet. So I just want to put that out there. They're not out yet. So
people check my Instagram story. They know I was complaining about that shit.
they'll be out there.
Wait,
are they tomorrow or are they Saturday?
Saturday.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I'll have.
Yeah, the 2 guys that don't have them, they know.
Saturday. Yeah. But look, we appreciate everybody for watching. It was an early night tonight. Watch the game.
And Rodgers already threw a touchdown.
Oh, good. I'm glad I started him. I hope I saved him.
Aaron.
Yeah. Appreciate you, fellas. Shout out to the Hot Seat Podcast. You can go watch and listen to the episode now on all their streaming platforms. Go to their page, the Hot Seat Podcast, and you can check out the interview that we did, or the episode mashup we did with them. Next week is up in the air because it's Thanksgiving, fellas. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody that's watching. Just in case we don't come next week, we haven't talked about it yet. If we do, it won't be on Thursday. Well, that's true. You're right. I might not.
No, you can't. Y'all can't be saying that kind of shit about me, man.
So look, shout out to all the folks that's gonna be stuffing some turkey next week. I'm planning to get turkey bowls. Watching the lesbian homie over and over and over again.
We're on our way to being kicked off of the Hot Seat Podcast. Right next to it.
They're not going to make it to 100 because of us, because of our show.
Right, exactly. If you ever watch Lesbian Homie Season 2, it's on YouTube. It's dope writing, dope production. Shout out to, I told you I come out to Cali and find those folks and give them one of those skits, among some other things. That's it, y'all. But we'll figure out next week. That's all we got, y'all. Appreciate all y'all watching. We got something else?
Like, share, subscribe.
All that good stuff. Peace.
Peace.